And a very warm welcome to Wellbeing Mission Control. I'm Greg Parry. I'm a wellbeing specialist. And one of the areas that I thought might be interesting to touch on today is a subject that I discuss quite often with the people that I'm working with. And we grew up in a society that encouraged us to be kind, to be considerate, to be supportive, to be helpful. And these are all wonderful traits because it certainly helps us to learn how to be more socially acceptable. These are the qualities that help us to be more easily integrated into any social environment. It's a great idea, being helpful, supportive and understanding. But I've noticed that an awful lot of people tend to forget that these principles also apply to themselves. Interesting, huh? Because when you become more aware of how your internal vocabulary, how you're thinking and feeling, expressing yourself towards you, that's going to have a huge impact on the quality of your life. Now, we know that when you generate emotional reactions, you can trigger all kinds of hormonal responses. And come on, guys, these are very powerful chemicals. They have a massive impact on the way the body functions. They also affect brain function. And when we become aware that quite often we're using judgmental or negative values, negative expressions about ourselves, we might just begin to understand that we're not really doing ourselves any favours. In fact, in many ways, we are harming ourselves. We have these very negative thought patterns, most of which come from experiences we picked up in early childhood. But the reason I'm triggering this particular issue today is because when you practice a little bit of mindfulness, and that's just a fancy word for being aware of how you're thinking and feeling, you can interrupt those negative, judgmental words and feelings that you seem to generate spontaneously and put something more positive into the mix. I'll make it easy. What I would love you to do from this moment onwards is to be kinder towards yourself, more understanding, take a more gentle approach to yourself. Because deep down, that little small child that's locked away in the heart of all of us is still deeply sensitive to hurt and pain and criticism. In fact, we could say that deeper part of ourselves is still very sensitive to rejection. That's tough enough to deal with for the people around us. But when we impose that kind of rejection on ourselves, yeah, you're way ahead of me. You can obviously see that this is not the most helpful way to address our own potential. It just seems that we fall into this habit of moving to extremes. Either we're being all of one thing and nothing of the other. What we're really looking for is a position of balance between the extremes, where you accept yourself more easily. And it doesn't mean to say that you stop working on yourself. It's not a question of just accepting the weaknesses, some of the deficiencies we all suffer from, just saying, oh, that's as good as it gets. We all have a duty of care to ourselves to work on those parts of ourselves that are getting in the way of our health, our well-being, our success, our happiness, our fulfillment. But it is so much easier to begin that process from a position of acceptance. It removes a lot of the resistance, the internal resistance that we generate. It gets in the way of our progress. So that's really my message for you today. I want you to make a really clear declaration. It's an emotional statement that you are going to be kinder and gentler to yourself. And you might discover that makes a huge difference to the quality of your life. The kinder you are to yourself. This is not self-indulgence. This is a deeper level of understanding. The kinder, the gentler you are towards yourself, the easier it will be to be kind and gentle with others. Is that a good idea? Well, if that makes sense, feel free to put the idea into practice. And if you'd like to make any comments, if you have any ideas, questions or suggestions, well, my email is always open and the address is in the description below. And in the meantime, thanks for joining me in this short video, and please have a wonderful day.